Hello everybody, this is Mr. US History and welcome back to a brand new video. In this video I'm going to be running in the 1876 election as Rutherford B. Hayes, not Sam Tilden, because I'm going to try in this attempt to end Reconstruction, by which means I need to win as Hayes in a landslide, and I don't even need to rely on those three southern states, Louisiana, Florida, and South Carolina. I can just win. If I win in a landslide as Hayes, I can ultimately avoid having to end Reconstruction. So the ultimate goal of this election is to keep Reconstruction going. So I'm going to campaign as Hayes. Yeah. He's not well known outside of Ohio, but at the same time he's been noted as a reformer and has supported civil rights legislation. And these aspects could perhaps help bolster Republican support in counter Tilden's anti-corruption campaign. Hayes would also have to balance distancing himself from Grant and the corruption of his administration. So, yeah, I'd say I'll do that. Yeah, I think William Wheeler would be a good choice as running mate. Like, uh, Frelinghuysen is a bit too radical as a Republican, and I kind of want to go with a more moderate anti-corruption candidate. As for Blanche Bruce, I don't think picking a black Republican would necessarily be a good idea because this is still 1876 America, and in this period, I think it would actually hurt me in the North as well, not even just the South, by picking a black running mate. So I'll go with William Wheeler as my running mate, and there we go. Okay, so it starts off at 185 to 184. Alright. After a close Republican National Convention in Cincinnati, you have emerged victorious on the 7th ballot against Maine Congressman James G. Blaine. What will the focus of your general election campaign be? Yeah, let's go with reform. It's rather bold, but an indirect repudiation of President Grant. The effects of this move will be interesting, but reform is a winning strategy. Okay. Winning in Indiana now, so I'm at 220 electoral votes. This is a good thing. To what extent will you discuss civil rights in the Confederacy during your campaign? I'm the candidate for civil rights and ending Reconstruction by ensuring blacks have the same rights as white men across the country. I think that's a good idea. Alright. Yep, I'm up in New York now, as well as Connecticut. So far, so good. I'm already winning in a landslide, 241 to 128. So I don't even need these three southern states anymore to win. What will you say about the selection of your running mate, Congressman William Wheeler? Yep, let's go with the unmatched integrity. Civil rights, I've already kind of come out in support of that. As for the consensus choice in the party, I'll go with the integrity one. Voters notice an emphasis on his integrity. Corruption is a major issue, so emphasizing this will help you. Okay. 241, 128. This so far so good. I'm losing ground in New York, but at the end of the day, I don't even think I need New York to win. Corruption is a major issue given the Grant administration's unpopularity due to what many see as rampant corruption. How will your campaign address corruption? Let's go with civil service reform. The position is well received by voters. Alright. 206 to 163. I think I lost ground somewhere. Probably, yeah, New Jersey. The Hamburg massacre broke out yesterday in Hamburg, South Carolina. This racially and politically motivated attack saw black Republicans attacked by white Democrats, resulting in 6 deaths. How will your campaign respond to this? Okay. 212. Let's go to New Jersey next. How will you address your opponent, New York Governor Sam Tilden? I don't want to go as a nativist, nor yeah. I'll just say that I'll go. I'll try to run to be like a more reformist candidate than him. Governor Tilden is seen by many Americans as a reformer, but tying him to corruption may be the right strategy. Okay, I'm winning in New York, so 244 to 125. I'm almost up by 100 electoral votes. The financial panic of 1873 is still fresh in the minds of many citizens, and its effects are being felt. How exactly will the Hayes administration tackle this economic issue? Yeah, I think I'll say we keep the gold standard. Okay. I've actually lost ground in New York, and Tilden is still narrowly winning in the popular vote, but alright. Ulysses S. Grant, the incumbent who was considering running for a third term, had wanted to convince the Republican National Convention of 1876 to nominate his Secretary of State, Hamilton Fish. Will you visit him to ensure you two are in a decent standing? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay. 200 to 169. What is your stance on Reconstruction, which has been going on for about a decade? Yeah, let's say Reconstruction must be preserved. Alright, I'm winning in New York and New Jersey. I'm only losing in Connecticut. And there we go. 244 to 125. Colorado, a newly admitted state, is set to hold legislative elections. As the funds to directly vote for electors are unavailable, whichever party gains control of the state government will be selecting the 3 electors, which could prove decisive. Will you help Colorado Republicans out? Yeah, let's do that. Quite lucky. Republicans have slim majorities in the Colorado general election. Will get 3 electoral votes from Colorado. The time and energy spent here is time not spent in other states. Okay, yeah, that has cost me New York and Florida. But at least I got Colorado. But I'm down by 7 electoral votes. How will you emphasize your record as governor of Ohio? Yeah, let's say I voted for civil rights and for civil service reform. But actually, yeah, I should campaign as governor of Ohio, actually. Alright. Now I'm back in the lead with 229 electoral votes because I've regained Florida, which is good. In February of 1876, President Grant's Secretary of War William Belknap was impeached by the House for corruption in the Trader Post scandal, but then acquitted by the Senate as Belknap resigned. This corruption is a major issue in this election. Are there any thoughts on this event? Yeah, let's say this. Okay. Still winning in New York. Up 194 to 175. I think I lost ground in Indiana. Alright. A major driver of Grant's economic boom was the construction of the Northern Pacific Railway, as well as hefty investments in the development of other railroads. Despite the economic recession, Republicans as a whole support railroad development out west. What will you say on the matter in your campaign? Yeah, let's go there. Santer not only addresses the Panic of 1873, but also affirms her commitment to the modernization of the nation. Okay, I'm up in New York by 3 points. So far, I'm winning by a decent amount. If I win Connecticut, then this would truly be a landslide election. One of President Grant's biggest roles in the Reconstruction program has been to prosecute the KKK. How will you emphasize this in your campaign, and will you continue to prosecute the organization in your administration? Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I have gained ground in these 3 southern states, mostly due to getting higher black turnout. North Carolina is actually surprisingly closer than I was expecting. We're only down there by 6 points, so if I can win North Carolina, then this would actually be like a really big landslide because, alright. Last year, a major civil rights law was passed by the Republican Congress and signed into law by President Grant. Did you support this bill, and will you support further civil rights protection as president? Yeah. Okay, I'm actually losing some ground in Louisiana, but still fine. I'm still winning 244 to 125. President Grant's record on foreign affairs has been highly successful. In particular, the Treaty of Washington was signed as a new method of resolving international disputes. How will you address this treaty in your campaign? Yeah, let's say that. Okay, so I've continued with my lead in New York. 244 to 125. Alright. Despite some criticisms over wars with the natives, President Grant has overseen a significant drop in racial tensions involving the native population thanks to a comprehensive peace policy. How will you emphasize this in that fall campaign? Yeah. Okay. 244 to 125. The Grant administration has pursued a moralistic crackdown on pornography, abortion, and polygamy to some success. Do you support of the president's actions, and how will you address the issue of morality in your administration? Yeah, I support the president's actions. Oh wait, no, that's oppose. I support the administration's working. Yeah, that's a good idea. How did it go from 185 to 184? What happened? I'm still winning in new. Okay, this game has some issues with it. President Grant was remarkably supportive of women's rights, even while other Republicans are more cautious on that matter. How do you, how will you discuss a woman's issues in your campaign this fall? Um, Somehow I've lost New York, but I have actually gained Indiana, so that's good. 209 to 160. One of Grant's biggest achievements in office was the creation of Yellowstone National Park. We discussed this in campaign. Uh, yeah. Alright, I've got back New York, so 209 to 160. I think I've lost Indiana, though. Another one of the president's successes involved his good treatment of the Jewish community. In particular, he appointed a record number of Jews to office, and anti-Jewish sentiment declined. Will you emphasize this in your campaign? Uh, yeah. Okay, 244 to 125. So far, so good. The uncovering of the whiskey ring last year is still in the minds of many Americans, despite Grant seeing through over 200 indictments and over 100 convictions. Many Americans associate his name and the party with the scandal. How will you address this issue in your campaign? Yeah, that probably may not have been the best option as I've lost New York, but still, I'm still winning, though. President Grant has taken an unusual strong stance in support of secular public schools. We continue the president's policy for the separation of church and state. Yeah, I'll just stay quiet on this overall. Okay, I've got back New York, so that's good. But I've lost Indiana. Whenever I gain New York, I lose Indiana. It's kind of weird. In the past 2 years, Reconstruction of the South has declined in popularity, owing to an increasingly violent shift in circumstances. Riots between freedmen and white conservatives have popped up in black areas and throughout the South. How will you address this issue in your administration? Let's do this. Okay, I've got back Indiana in my corner, but I've lost New York. I keep saying this again. It keeps happening. Uh, yeah, let's look. As election day comes to a close, there have been reports of racial violence, electoral fraud, and tossing of ballots throughout the South, particularly in the states of Louisiana, Florida, and South Carolina. Southern Democrats have made apparent that they will cede any challenges in exchange for the end of Reconstruction. We support such an agreement in the case of contested election. No, I won't be making a statement as of now. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should say non-committal at the end of the day. Alright. Okay, Vermont came in for me. Let's see how much I won by. Yeah, Vermont was at that point in time, Vermont was the most Republican state in the country, which is surprising considering that now it's actually the bluest state in the country. Georgia, yeah, 31 points to Tilden, 20 points Tilden. This is expected. I don't know if I'm actually doing better than Hayes was doing historically in the states that were not. Alabama and Mississippi went to Tilden, nothing surprising there. Maine, I won Maine. Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Ohio, I won by 9 points, which is, I think that was more than what Hayes actually won the state by. North Carolina went to Tilden by 7. That's actually a decent performance. Won Connecticut. I've won Indiana, so that's good. Kev, all those states have come in for me. Election hinges on New York and these. If I can actually win the West Coast states, I think I'm good, honestly. Okay, I won California and Nevada, so I'm almost there. And I've won Oregon, so just need New York or one of these southern states to come in. Okay, I've won, because I've won South Carolina and Florida. Okay, and I've won Louisiana as well. Do I win New York and New Jersey, though? Yes, I have. Given your victory, it appears that Reconstruction will continue to some degree, as federal troops in southern states still serves a purpose, especially given the violence over last year. Despite this, the road ahead is a tough one, and you are faced with cleaning up the corruption and pulling the nation out of the economic slump. Given the circumstances of the elections, unlikely that you will run for a second term. Depending on how your administration faces these issues, you can lead your success of a strong economy and a clean government. It appears both the stalwarts and half-breeds are anxious for the 1880 election. I've also won the popular vote. Plus, I've actually I did an electoral college landslide. I won New York. I nearly won New York, which is Tilden's home state, as well as New Jersey. I came pretty close in North Carolina, actually. Same with Missouri. I did a respectable showing there. Same with West Virginia. Louisiana I won by about a point, Florida by 3 points, and South Carolina by about 5 points. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like this video down below and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching.